Hello again, horror lovers, and welcome back to another Screaming for Horror video. I'm Rain, and I hope you had a wicked day. Social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, among others, are just some of the many ways to keep you connected with friends and family. But nowadays, there's always that person that wants a little bit more. For some reason, it's not enough going out to meet people or maybe using a dating app. Some just prefer the company of a total stranger. And if that's the case, there's two popular sites out there, Chatroulette and Omegle. The concept is simple. You randomly get paired with a stranger somewhere out there and begin to chat, etc. Yes, it might be fun and exciting to meet a random stranger online, but once in a while, you stumble upon some of the freakiest and weirdest experiences, and that's what happened to the next people on our list. But before we start, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more upcoming creepy and scary content. These are unnerving Chatroulette and Omegle stories. Let's begin. Number 1. Always in the corner. I never understood why so many people use these websites, since half of people who you meet there, you're never gonna see again, or most of the time, it's just a bunch of different guys playing with their, well, you know. There have been times where they've gotten me with some of their jump scares. That's why I really never liked it much. But none of those scares came close to what I've experienced a couple of days ago, and I regret it. So I decided to give it another try, and I logged in thinking that no harm will come from it. About an hour into clicking the next button, I came across a very strange video feed, and I wasn't able to press the next button after that, or even close the page. I was just stuck here. I watched this black screen for about 5 minutes, all while listening to strange noises, and of course, trying to get out of there. Then, suddenly, disturbing images started to flash in front of me. Babies with their intestines pulled out, hanging from God knows where. Men and women jumping off bridges all at the same time. Disfigured people ripping themselves apart. Those images continued for another 2 minutes, until it stopped, and all that was left was the ringing in my ears. Now, that wouldn't be so bad if that's all that happened from viewing the video, but it wasn't. You see, after watching this, I had been seeing those images everywhere I went. For example, if I would go to a job interview, I would see a woman hanging from a noose behind the employer staring at me. If I take my dog out for a walk, sudden visions of children being butchered in the park flash by making me disoriented, and the worst of them were at nighttime. It's always the same thing. A woman in a nightgown standing in the corner of my room, staring at me. Her face all ripped up and mangled, but her eyes still clearly visible and fetched to me. From time to time I try going to bed, until I get up in the morning, but she's still there, all the time. I try not to take my eyes off of her. I think I'm starting to lose it. As I'm writing this, I can see her in the corner of my eye, just staring at me as usual, saying nothing, but harboring a grotesque look of horror plastered in her face. I haven't slept in days. Is there anyone out there who can help me? Number 2. The closet. One day getting home, I sit down on my bed and I opened up my laptop to browse a little. Didn't take long until I was on Chatroulette again. After a few clicks avoiding perverts, a girl came up on my screen. She looked like she was crying, but she had a hand covering her mouth, trying to prevent herself from making noise, I assumed. I was about to skip her thinking it was some sort of prank, but she started to type, "Please help me." "What's going on?" I asked her. She told me she needed me to call the police since she had entered her house only to find out that someone had broken in. She had slowly backed away and hid inside her closet. She had tried to call 911 herself, but her phone had died. She grabbed her laptop instead, which was in her backpack, and opened it up to the first page that came up and connected to my screen. I honestly didn't know what to do. Was this a prank? Or the girl really needed my help? I decided to call 911, but before that, I asked her for her name and address. She said her name was Linda. While she was typing her address, I was unlocking my phone, and then she pressed enter. My eyes got wide and watery because the address she had sent me was mine. I felt a chill running down my spine. I felt weak, and I dropped my phone. Words cannot describe how I felt when the sound of my phone smashing against the floor came from the speakers of my own laptop. I just stood there, frozen, looking at her. She was still begging me for me to call them. A few minutes later, I decided I needed to do something about it, so I moved towards my closet carrying the laptop in my hands. When I opened it, and nothing was there, but the girl was still on my screen crying. I made my way to my roommate's door, and I could hear my footsteps coming from the laptop. I thought this was it, so I ran as fast as I could towards it, and in one quick move, I opened the closet door as I kept my eyes on the girl at all times. But when the door completely opened, a glare blocked the view, and she suddenly disconnected. There was nothing inside the closet. I ran out of there the same instant as far as I could, but I felt like something or someone was chasing after me. I kept hearing the same things all over again in my head. I was getting tired of running, but I couldn't stop. I wouldn't stop. Number 3. Smile. I just got home from a friend's funeral. There was a lot of people there, his friends and his family, but also a lot of kids from school that we didn't even know. But I guess they were there since they had read the newspaper headlines. Young man found lacerated in his bedroom. No suspects found. It's all they talked about in our town. He was the second kid in our graduating class who had passed. The first one was drug-related, but it was kept quiet. I guess people had been curious since my friend's death had left a lot of unanswered questions. Not even the cops could figure out what exactly happened to him. I want to tell them I know, but I don't think they're gonna believe me. So I decided to post this online, because maybe someone out there can help me understand what happened. Also because most of you are probably more open to what I witnessed. So here it goes. You see, last month a couple of my buddies and I were drinking and watching some TV. Bored out of our skulls, eventually one of our friends brought up the idea of playing around in Omegle. We thought we were so cool drunk, shouting insults and pressing the next button before the person was able to respond. My friend, the one that passed, was the one in charge of pressing the next button, but he would stop on a pretty girl, try to flirt, usual guy stuff. I remember we kept with the insults until one white particular screen came on my friend's, and he hesitated to press the next button. A low humming sound was coming out of the speakers. "Hello?" my friend said. I didn't understand it, but a feeling of uneasiness started to grow on me. My friend decided to hit the next button, only to be taken to another screen as the same one we had just skipped. Same low humming and all, but this time, instead of a white screen, there was a bedroom, mostly dark. You couldn't see much, but on the corner of the screen, there was a computer. Suddenly, a girl appeared in front of us. Your normal pretty girl, about 18 to 20, long black hair, and was staring blankly at the screen, not saying anything at all. Since the rest of us were still goofing off, we kind of ignored her, but my friend greeted her. I did notice that she had tilted her head towards my friend, and all she did was smile. But when I say smile, I mean teeth showing and all. Her smile was pretty eerie, to say the least. We kind of started to notice, and we started freaking out. My friend was frozen looking at the screen. We didn't want this girl looking at us. At least I didn't. She never broke stare or even blinked. My friend finally decided to close the laptop, eyes locked on the girl while closing it almost down. There was some silence for a few seconds after that, and then we just bursted out laughing, thinking she was on serious drugs or something. After a while, we all went our separate ways for the night. Everything was fine, when about a week or two later, my friend, the one fetched on the girl, texted me telling me that he was out at the mall, and while he was making line to get some food, he thought he saw the same girl from the screen across the food court. The same girl grinning at him from across. He said he blinked, and then she was gone, but didn't think much of it since he was high. Another week passed, and I get a call from him late at night waking me up. He sounded pretty urgent, telling me how he had heard someone in his kitchen. I've gotten calls like this before about strange noises, and it ended up being his grandmother, but this time he was crying. I was about to start lecturing him about being on drugs, when he shushed me and told me he had just gotten home from work and wasn't on anything. Suddenly, with a low tone, he told me. I'm putting the phone on speaker. I heard a thump, followed by another thump. Whatever it was walking towards the door of my friend's room. I could hear his heavy breathing as he whispered, "It's inside my room." I could hear a slight scratching sound on the door. He was breathing so loud that I didn't know what to do, and words weren't even coming out of my mouth. Suddenly, just as it had started, it stopped. I could hear my friend breathing with less panic. He told me whatever it was gone, and he was gonna check it out. He opened the door, he told me the coast was clear, thanked me, and simply hung up. The rest of the week everything seemed fine, until Friday. I was sick, so I decided to stay in. With nothing to do, I started messing around with social media when I got a message from my friend. "You're home on a Friday? Get your webcam. I've got something to show you." I thought he was gonna tell me he was throwing a party without me since he had done that before, but to my surprise, it was him in a dark room, only illuminated by a screen. He looked sort of normal. He wrote hi, and he mentioned the girl that we had seen on Amigo. He said he had been seeing her, and he was sure that she was following him. I started laughing. "You're kidding, right?" I said. But his face was deadly serious. He reached down and pulled up his sleeves, revealing some deep gashes on his arm. He said that he had woken up the night before, and she was in the corner of his room staring at him with a big toothy smile. He said he blacked out, and he woke up with all the gashes all over his arms and legs. Then he put his arms up to show me how she carved the word "smile" all over his arm, over and over and over. I was speechless. I thought he had gone crazy and I was about to call him out when a familiar sound filled my ears. It was the humming from that night. My friend began to cry when he turned his head towards the side of the room where the humming was coming from, and just when his eyes met whatever it was there, he abruptly turned to me and smiled with a big grin, and the camera faded away. I closed the session and I went onto the internet all shook up, trying to distract myself on Facebook. All of a sudden I get a DM from him, just with the one word, "smile." They found him the next day, his body covered in gashes from head to toe. The cops never mentioned the word "smile" being carved on his arm. The coffin was the worst part because he was there, lying down, frozen with a big grin on his face. I rolled up his sleeves, and sure enough, there it was, the word carved as I had seen. Today at the funeral, out of all the unfamiliar faces in the crowd, one stood out to me. A girl with long black hair, smiling right back at me. Number 4. The Stranger. I need help, and I mean some serious help. I was a bit bored and I was procrastinating a little, so I decided to kill some time on Amigo. So here's a chat log for what happened that night. So I start asking, "Hey, ASL." Then the stranger tells me, "Hey, ASL." "After you," I respond. The stranger proceeds to tell me that he's from Texas and from my same town. Wow, that's exactly where I'm from. We're from the same town? Seriously? "It would be weird and we weren't, Sam," the stranger responded. "WTF? This is creepy. How did you know my name?" "I know you also live." And then he proceeded to tell me my address. "You're welcome," the stranger said. "That's not cool," I replied. "Are you gonna let that guitar at the corner just gather dust forever?" "Wait, what are you talking about? I don't have a guitar." "Go on, play it for me. Play Somewhere Only We Know. It'll be our little secret." "I'm gonna call the police. Who the F are you?" "Mommy wouldn't like it if you did that, now would she?" "My mother passed away 7 years ago." "Really? I was just talking to her about a minute ago." Then a message pops. "You have been disconnected." So after reading all of this, you can imagine how freaked out I was. I do own a guitar, and it was at the corner, but I haven't played it in years. But it was the part about him mentioning the song, Somewhere Only We Know, that got to me. You see, it was mine and my mother's favorite song, always playing it. But the part about my mother, what the hell? Hearing someone even mentioning her being alive was a slap in the face, and that broke me. To this day, I cannot go into another chat room because all the conversations start normal, and then the stranger returns. I've tried everything, changing screen names, clearing cache, and nothing. He's always there. Please, somebody make him go away. Number 5. I'll see you again. My friends and I, we're 6 in total, were hanging out one night and we decided to chat around Omegle. It was around midnight and we knew my friend's parents were going to be dead asleep. For the first hour, we just saw the usual stuff. We decided we were going to chat with another person before finally going to bed because we were bored at this point. We had no idea what to expect when we clicked the next button. The video feed went completely black on the other side. We figured he or she just forgot to turn off their webcam, so one of my friends typed, "Your webcam is on." A few minutes passed and the person on the other side replied, "I can see you." The 6 of us looked closely at the screen and that's when we saw it. 2 eyes staring back at us from the darkness. In case you were wondering, no, they weren't demon eyes or anything like that. They were just 100% human, but we couldn't see anything else. No mouth, no face, no outline, no ears, no nothing. Absolutely nothing but those eyes. The hairs on the back of my neck started to rise. My friend typed again, ASL. The person didn't reply. He just stared at us. His deep black eyes seemed to scan us one by one as if he was trying to read our minds through the computer screen. I could hear his heavy breathing through the speakers. The rest of the guys started to get tensed. After what seemed to be an eternity, and before he disconnected, the person only sent out one message to us, and it read, "I'll see you soon." We were all wide awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering if the person was real or it was just a troll trying to scare us. Finally, Charlie broke the silence. What did he mean by "I'll see you soon"? Maybe he was just trolling. "Come on, guys," I said. "I've had enough. Let's get some sleep and not talk about this anymore." We stopped talking about it, and sure enough, a month passed by and it felt like it never happened. We had another get-together over at Charlie's house. Travis couldn't come since he had some sort of family dinner that night, so it was just the 5 of us. It was about 3 a.m. and we were in the middle of playing Mario Kart when Sam said, "Hey guys, wanna go on Omegle again?" "Are you stupid?" Charlie said. "What if we see him again?" "But there's so many people out there. The chances are 1 in a million." Fine. We all agreed and we logged in again. Nothing out of the ordinary at first. Same thing, same people, etc. About an hour later, we switched to another chat and we saw something strange. It was like some sort of video feed with a strange road on the screen. It was completely silent except for the cars passing by, but there was no one around. What the hell? We all thought. We kept watching as the camera passed shops and even gas stations, finally turning into a small housing suburb. My skin began to crawl. Something was very wrong, and yet we couldn't stop watching. The camera turned from one street to another, hiding behind trees and random streetlights. The camera finally stopped at one house at the end of the street. Then, my heart sank into my stomach. I wish it wasn't real. I wish the 5 of us weren't seeing what we were seeing, but that was Travis's house, and we were about to watch someone break in. The camera went straight to get the key that was hiding under a rock and entered through the back door. It crept silently, making its way into the hall and Travis's room. We were too shocked, too terrified to even move a muscle. I thought the smartest thing to do was to grab my phone and dial 911, so I dialed. "Hello? Someone is breaking into my friend's house." My whole body was shaking as we saw a hand turning Travis's doorknob. "Are you currently in the house, sir?" Then, the door opened and the camera stepped inside. I felt one of my friend's hand grip on the side of my shirt. "No, sir. We are seeing this from a webcam. I can't explain. Look, the person is in the room right now. Send someone, please. Send them now." "Please give us the address of the house, sir, and we will send someone right away." I was practically screaming the address to the operator. We were all hysterical. It was horrible. The camera was right above Travis while he slept. We were all screaming at Travis to wake up, but obviously he didn't hear us. Amidst of all the panic, we were shaking the computer, but nothing. Then, Travis began to move around and suddenly opened his eyes. and whitened with shock, the screen was covered with some sort of cloth, and then we were disconnected. We've never seen or heard from Travis ever since that night. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. I do want to point out that I'm not advocating for anyone out there to visit these sites. If you do, please be careful and it's at your own discretion. If you have a ghostly experience, a close encounter, or want to share any photos or videos of strange phenomena, feel free to send us an email at screamingforhorror@gmail.com, and your story could be featured in one of our future videos. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe and follow us on our Facebook page for more, and remember, until next time, sweet screams.